Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic and this is another reaction to Hunter x Hunter. It is episode 35 and you know what to do as always. If you want to see the reaction itself, just go down into my descriptions, follow the links, replace the parentheses dot parts with real dots and enjoy. Once you've done, feel free to come back here and hear my thoughts about this episode, so see you soon. For those that came back, welcome back. Now, that was a funny little and entertaining episode, right? I mean, you could question if there was so much in it. But we had some nice fights which were pretty one-sided, but entertaining. So let's see. We started off with what happened to Sasado. The fact that he just ran away from Killua, which I can completely see and understand. And they had a phone call from him to his friends, so I think that's cool. So he tried to warn them and they did not listen. So he talked about the underworld afflictions in the eyes of Killua. So he could see the darkness and terror that is there. And yes, I think they showed that pretty cool in the last episode with the eyes, those dead eyes. So I can see that. Killua then threatened the other two as well, which, although not as intimidating as he did it with Sasado. So Gido and Riehlvelt had a chance. They were informed. They did not follow the rules, so that they did not get free wins from Killua, which was an option, you remember. Instead, they will face, or had to face, both Killua and Gon now. And I think the major positive thing for Gon here is that Killua faced the unknown one, Riehlvelt, first. Knowing how the enemy fights helps you a lot. And so you can plan ahead, you can create a plan how to deal with the abilities and the fighting style of your enemy, as we have seen in the fights of Gon. He just used his knowledge he has and thus defeated his enemy. In both cases, I think. While Killua is on a power level and especially on a resilience level that he does not need that against these enemies so much yet. But I will talk about that. So first we had Gon versus Gido. We had the spinners again, and a shotgun blues, which means that they aim directly for Gon. So in the last fight, in the first fight, that would have killed him off instantly, right? Because he was not able to really use his hand so defensively. And here, he could have taken him out using his fishing rod, as Killua stated, but instead he chose to smack him all away just by using his Ren, and thus showing to Gido, hey, I am proficient, or at least more proficient in the use of Nen abilities now. I am strong enough to just counter your attack like that. So he, in this case, I guess he broke Gido in this moment already, because Gido then was like realizing, okay, I cannot win against this boy anymore. He's stronger than me now. He countered possibly one of his strongest attacks. And you could see that Gido did not do anything after that. No, normally you would guess like, okay, I shoot this shotgun. The enemy counters this. I go for another shotgun, or I go for my spinning tops, the dance of it, or I don't know, anything. But he did not act anymore. Instead, he just rotated there and was worrying and thinking about what to do. Which is when the floor came off and he lost, right? So that was pretty one-sided, and but it was about some kind of vengeance, you know, Avenge, the name of the episode. So Gon crushed his metal leg, which, I mean, there are two things in there. So one thing is he did it because what happened with Sushi, and I can completely see that. He sent a clear message. But by crushing the leg of Gido, you take out all of his abilities, because it's all focused on spinning. at least when it's about himself. He has no more defense, he cannot stand upright, he cannot move around, he's completely taken out. While on the other hand, you don't injure his real body, so he can be back pretty easily by having created a new leg. But you take him out of the equation and you show him how weak in this moment he is, how unable to do anything, right? So it was a clear statement, and I like that. And then we have the other fight with Killua versus Riehlvelt. Preemptive strike did not work out as planned, sadly, but okay. So we could see what Riehlvelt is doing. So his wheelchair is controlled by his aura, by Nen, which was not so much of a surprise there. And the only other thing we have seen is the snake whips, which creates like a defense field around him, where if you get in, you possibly get snatched into pieces. So I can see that. It's a thing that might work. You can move around in that circle, in that square circle, and thus you use your wheelchair by Nen. You can at the same time have these defense field, the Song of Defense stands set up, and if the enemy gets in, you win, normally, against normal or weak enemies, right? Although I kind of would question if stronger enemies, as we've seen already some, will be taken out that easily. However, for that, he has the energetic effect on his whips, which is a statement. I mean, 1 million volt, that's gonna leave a scratch. And as this picture here already says, it normally takes out even the largest of men. That is an amount of energy you cannot handle bodily. I don't know here. I mean, clearly Killua is pissed about that because it hurt, and but in the end it is about winning in this. I ask myself if someone, is there like something you are not allowed to take to this fight? Because that is very easily, in my opinion, something that can kill men. So could you just take a real shotgun and shoot at someone, or come in a tank and say, hey, that's my equipment, I'm carrying a tank? I don't know. Sorry. Me. No, well, whatever. Killua catch those. My goodness. Ignoring the speed, and then he did ignore the energy. And that makes sense. He stated that he is used to resisting that. Not the pain, not the energy itself, just able to ignore the pain due to the torture that he endured in the past, which I guess pretty sure is at home. So that tells you something about his home. And I guess bodily he is somehow enhanced as well, because normally you would fall unconscious from that. Yeah, but that is again a psychology win there, because you have something as a weapon which you know to take out everyone, and then there's someone catching it and just ignoring it and saying, that's not nice, and just throws you away, as Killua did then. Apart from the fact that you lose, what does that take to your beliefs, right? What does it make with you? So the fact that Riehlvelt, then some days later had to face Gon. As I said, it was a way easier win for Gon there, because Riehlvelt, in my opinion, was already half at a loss, because he was mentally no more ready. He was mentally broken by Killua already, and you could see it before the fight started. He was already sweating, looking at Gon, possibly thinking about, okay, if this one boy is so OP, what will this other boy be like? Will I get out of that alive? So he already started with a defense stance, and then, was kind of surprised by the fact that the floor was thrown at him, although you could kind of see that coming, because Gon already lifted a floor tile in the last fight. I was kind of waiting that he would smash him with that or something like that, or just take out all the floor tiles. I mean, he's driving in a wheelchair, so if you create an underground that he cannot use properly with this wheelchair, just say, might be an option for a fight problem for Riehlvelt. But here instead, he just threw it, he had to dodge, and Gon predicted that dodge, knew it, and that's it, end of story. And then he won without doing physical damage, just by psychology again, by stating to use the whips against Riehlvelt, which he's so afraid of after this catch from Killua, where he felt this pain, possibly for the first time himself, that just by the idea of getting it again, or on a higher level even, he just passed out. So a lot of psychology this time, and a mix of grinning, smiling, hey, just a joke moments paired with cruelty and the option of really, really hard stuff to happen. So that's interesting. That's the episode, and in the end we get Hisoka stating, I will wait for you, right? Whenever, wherever, you just say it. So what I ask myself now is if Gon will go for that instantly, because I think Gon and Killua learned a lot about themselves in the last weeks, and they hopefully realized that there are different levels for fighting, and hopefully they question themselves when it comes to their powers compared to the one of Hisoka, because I don't think they are ready yet. We will see. We will see. That's it for me this time. Not much else to talk about. I will see you the next time. And until then, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. My name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.